Good afternoon, good evening. This is Ben from Cape Russia. Um, Even though this is not new, but this is really interesting because not many point out the Russian perspective um, in old spaces um, about the deceptive so-called Pentagon um, leak and all this stuff. It's just a bunch of deception, which it is a deception operation um, from a person, a politician, deputy minister, the deputy foreign minister Sergei Ryabkov has claimed. Um, he says the US is a party in the conflict. RT points out in Ukraine and is essentially waging a hybrid war against us. Such tricks to deceive the enemy, meaning Russia, are possible. Ryak, Ryabkov told reporters on Wednesday. Um, he says, I am not saying anything definitely, but I assume different scenarios are plausible here because there's so much coverage on this in the mainstream circles here. There's so much coverage in the alt media spaces simultaneously. So Russia knows already. This is just another war of deception, which I have been pointing this out. So this is what they throw in, and it's funny how they had to create a patsy because when they throw this shit out there was no patsy until they had to manufacture a patsy, um, a Gen Z patsy, my generation, um, which is just not really creative at all. Especially if you read the crap, you think you would believe that rubbish. Nobody believes that rubbish. You know, even a basic person um, with basic, knowledge knows that is bullshit. Leaking things in Discord or that Amazon platform. I forgot what's that Amazon streaming platform. I need to get I forgot the name now. They used to own it, but I don't know what it's called now. Some video gaming stream. It will pop up in my head. I know it's purple. I know it's the most popular. Yeah, Twitch. Yeah, who does that? Who does that? It's rubbish. So this article, I recommend people reading into this, looking into this, because it's not what it's painted to be. Um, you know, so other things. Yesterday, I did a video on that. That rubbish. A lot of in oats people have been talking about. Um, they've been talking about a lot of this bullshit, fake um, Chinese police stations, which has already been debunked back in 2018. So they recycle this same crap. I did a video on that. Yeah, American Health Center Therapy um, in New York. Therapy and treatment, and the bottom is a noodle restaurant. So that is the secret police, so-called secret police. In South Africa, it was a non-for-profit China's relations, for Chinese travelers, and they engage with locals, on cultural exchanges and stuff like that. Um, that was targeted as a police station, secret police station. There was a company that um, I spoke with Aunt Bibi, and she knows about these things. Um, or just a chat on these things. She talks about on the Twitter. I recommend you following. Um, there is a NGO called Safeguard Defenders. They are based, according to Wikipedia, they were founded in June 2019 in Madrid, Spain. Um, and it's very little on the CIA Wikipedia for a reason. And here's the reason why there's little information on Wikipedia, CIA Wikipedia. Um, the financing is not transparent. Um, they are, but they have on this report they have previous incarnation as the Chinese Urgent Action Working Group. It receives funds from the EU and the National Endowment for Democracy, which is an organization, CIA fund, set up to fund groups conducive to Washington's regime change priorities. The fact that Safeguard Defenders is primarily focused on China and Vietnam also fits in with the regime change priorities of the Victims of Communism Memorial Foundation, BCMF. Um, they exploit any opportunity they can get, whether it's grievances and problems within the country, and amplify it, exaggerate it, and also create propaganda with it, laced, you know. And there's big money backed by it, $500 million. Congress last year we reported to fund anti-China propaganda to counter the Belt and Road Initiative uh, activities across the globe. That's happening across the globe because their lending system is damaged, and their interests are being damaged. You know, things like that. Um, the safeguard defenders, so-called, they defend and safeguard criminals, our assets, uses our ideology, you know, our Western free market fundamentalist ideology to disrupt the basic notions of right and wrong. And there is elements within, fifth columnists, and there is, of course, there is Western backing. It's based in Spain. Um, so you have, fifth columnists historically. You have a history of so-called Chinese dissidents. These are the same ones that created the CIA WikiLeaks. There's a WikiLeaks history connected with Chinese dissidents in Hong Kong, fake Chinese dissidents in Hong Kong. These are regime change assets. Um, China is the number one target. What did Assange say in Reuters back in 2011, the beginning of 2011? He has firmly said China is our real enemy. There you go. Not the United States. No. All that stuff with him and the United States is theater, it's deception, it's propaganda, it's crap. It's nonsense. If he was a real dissident of the West, he would have been dead and gone and buried by now already by the oligarchs. But the oligarchs, there's an interest because the oligarchs love deception because they want to make sure that the public that are, fall in love with these assets like Assange and Snowflake, Eddie Snowflake, destroying your civil liberties, destroying your First Amendment today, surveilling you 24/7, post 9/11, surveilling you further under under corporation control. Now you have public-private partnership, fostering the rise of fascism in our so-called glorious democracies. In realities that our democracies is a sham. It's not a democracy, it's a fake one. We live under a neo-feudalistic society today, and it's getting to that direction. That's the path we're taking under the new normal. Um, so you have all these feudal lords don't want the public to be educated on why we see China as a threat. Because the threat is the economic model, the economic system. In particular, the economic system, the economic operating system they run is not the same as ours. The regulated markets, they don't want us to discuss, they don't want us to really have any real discussions about. They don't want us to go back to discussing about FDR and Ackley, you know. Um, they want us to be kept in this rotten system, in the guise of open society, open democracy, open, globalism is openness, open, everything is open season, everything is open, up for grabs, including the lower the age, your children. They don't see that this system, I want you to think that this Ponzi scheme system we have is not credible. They want us neutralized. And that's what they do with real dissidents. They tax them. That's the Kasson architect. Scott talks about this in his videos. He talks about it in his latest segment. This is it. This is it. If people don't understand the realities that you're being brainwashed, you know, from 1 minute you don't believe the mainstream media, and then the next day you fall back in line, fall into the spectrum, this full spectrum dominance narratives, going back to the mainstream fold, you know. You don't believe the mainstream yesterday, but you believe Fox News today. Pushing, pushing this crap. Pushing this crap. Just like last week. This week. This nonsense. This garbage. And the southern border. Right. Right. It's all about big business. It's all about keeping the masses in control of a failing single big business oligarchy system. It's all about making sure you don't talk about the wrong stuff. You continue to be brainwashed into this mode, this garbage. You see it? Everything, yeah. It's like this nonsense a few weeks ago, trying to bring back the nonsense Wuhan market, wet market. Who funds that? Who funds the who? Look at the top. This is a budget from 2018 alone, 5 years ago. It's still the top to this day. Who funds it? United States of America. Where did that come from? Where did the COVID origins come from? The planning of all of this new normal event 201, where did it take place? While we were unleashing our soldiers alongside with Ukrainians in the Wuhan military games October. What was going on in New York? Mhm. You can read it for yourself. And it's going to be more of these anti-China propaganda stuff, slandering and nonsense. There are going to be more fake dissidents, just like what's his name, Steve Bannon, or this stupid um, Hong Kong asset, who faked, yeah, with a fake doctor, fake, scientist who never had any connection, never conducted any research, on human-to-human transmission of the novel coronavirus at HKU during December 2019 and January 2020. This is from her university. Dr. Yang Lime. This is from their website, from the University Press, Hong Kong University Press. And it's still up there, I think. There you go. There. Yet, she's propped up in Fucker Carlson, Fox News, to get everybody drummed up, the whole brainwashed masses. I think they know what the fuck is going on. There's all China, China, China. Everything, all our ills is China, China, China. And the next thing, they do other things. They do other nonsense on top. They publish all sorts of numbers to scare you of, recently so-called land ownership by the Chinese in US soil. Yeah, that accounts for barely 1%, 0.0 whatever. Meanwhile, your oligarchs, like your Bill Gates, own so much land in the South, and other players, other globalists, our globalists, Western globalists. They own so much land, but there's no energy for them. There's no energy for them that you pretend you have energy for. You pretend you have energy for Bill Gates because of vaccines in the group for leadership, but they don't want to talk about the land ownership, but they just want to amplify mythologies. Amplify shit. Live under comfortable lives and not face realities and talk about those realities. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all these investors, all these oligarchs, they are happy. They are happy. They are winning. Comes from Warren Buffett's mouth, the horse's mouth. You need to get that quote. To make sure that you are clear that this is the real agenda against the working class and the poor. This is right from his mouth. There's a class war. All right, but it's my class, the rich class. That's making war, and we are winning. All these networks have been doing this. It's not just Fox News. CNN have been pushing this crap. Back in December, it popped up back in October last year. So it pops up every couple of months when China keeps standing in our way in key strategic and globalist corporate agendas. We don't like it. This is why we keep doing this. Because people are stupid enough to believe it. Once it's repeated, when the lie is repeated, it becomes truth. There's nothing you can change the brainwash. Well, I'm done talking about this. It's making my throat dry. So have a great afternoon.